Hi guys, welcome back to the Yorkshire Modeller. We are now on to issue 16 of Battleship Bismarck. So before we get into the build for issue 16, I just want to show the geek wall. This is where all the things are going to go that I have that are geeky, and like I've got 3 sets of autographs. I've got John Rhys Davies, I've got Paul McGann, and I've got Sylvester McCoy. They were from a comic convention I went to in 2014 in Sheffield, and then I've got one down here as well that's the me with Sylvester McCoy and Paul McGann on the TARDIS set at the same sci-fi convention. I've got a few of these kind of paper mask type things from Game of Thrones. I've got the Stark Direwolf, I've got the Targaryen Dragon, I've got a White Walker, and I've picked the Lannister Lion up today, so those will be going up here somewhere as well. A few different bits and bobs are going to just be going on that wall. That's going to be the geek wall. Just a bit of a background. I've moved the camera around a little bit just so the light's coming straight at me from the window, which is straight behind you guys there. And then it's a little bit better than just a DVD cabinet. In issue 16, we get, it's just a motor. It's just motor for the gun elevation on that first gun on Anton. And that's it. It's literally just 2 pages of instructions. It's just screw it in. So obviously I've got the motor and the PB screws, I think they are. Double check that. Yeah, PB screws. So all you need for this is bringing your deck back in, and this will go onto the little cog just in there. So now on the motor you've got these 2 little holes. So there's one there and there's one just there. That's what you screw it in with. And the actual wire part has to go facing backwards, so it goes facing the stern of the ship. So if I just swing this around to show you this way, move the screws up, and then line that up with that, line that up with that. So, zoom you in a little bit more. There we go. So, what we do with this one, the perils of a magnetic screwdriver. If it's not lined up properly, it won't go in properly. There we go, that's better. He says. Just going to have to pop this down a sec so I can line this up properly. Oh, come on, there we go. So I'm not tightening these screws up all the way, just because, whoops, sorry. If you tighten them up all the way, you're going to put a lot of pressure on one side. These screws are a pain to get in. There we go. There we go, so that's in. So that's my PB screw. So same as always, put your extra screws in a little pot just to keep them safe. There we go. And that is that motor all attached. So that's it. That's it for this week. There's like a little cross on the motor part itself, the motorised part we get this week, that sits straight in the hole that's in the motor gearbox. That's it. Sits in the gearbox. You just have to line it up. I mean, mine wasn't perfectly straight, so I just had to put the motor in and slightly twist it to get the holes to match up. But it went in all right. It was the screws that was the hardest bit to get in that one. Next week, we get the circuit board. So that's for the first gun. I think it's for the first gun. What does it say actually? No, it just says the first circuit board box and a cable tie. I think it's going to be the first gun and the anchors that are going to be basically done with that circuit board for next week. So yeah, I will see you next week, next Thursday, for issue 17. Sorry it's been a really quick one. That was quicker than I expected. There's going to be more stuff on the Geek Wall. I am looking at doing a few extra things on the channel, like I'm thinking about like a Geek Out zone, I'm going to call it, which is going to be like reviews of films and games and things like that. I know some of you that are watching this are only watching for the scale modelling. That will still come, but I want to make this channel like an extension of me, basically. So it's not just scale modelling. There's going to be geek stuff. There's going to be props and costumes, what ifs. So, you know, what if Game of Thrones Series 8 was good? What if Star Wars The Last Jedi was good? You know, different things like that, but not just fantasy things, like sci-fi as not just sci-fi and fantasy, sorry, but like real life, you know. This video has been uploaded on the 6th of June, which is the 75th anniversary of D-Day. What would have happened if D-Day hadn't have been successful and the Allies had been pushed back to England and then Germany had taken the initiative and pushed forward? I'm thinking about doing things like that. The Bismarck's actually given me the kind of the impetus to do that. What if the Bismarck wasn't sank? How would things have been different? So I'm just thinking, and I'm playing with different ideas on how I can, you know, change that as well. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of an eclectic mix. The Bismarck will continue. There will be other builds on the channel. Like I say, I'm thinking about a couple of different things. So yeah, the Geek Wall will slowly start to fill up. That DVD cabinet may be shifted at some point. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But until next Thursday with issue 17 of Battleship Bismarck, stay tuned for that one. But happy modelling, guys.